Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I'm ready. I'm ready. My topic this morning is let heaven and nature sing. And you know, as I was preparing this lesson, I was kind of looking back on the year to see what is it that I have been teaching myself this year. Because it's really, this is where the lesson is, all right? What have I been teaching myself this year? And I realized that I've been leading up to this point that I want to make this morning. And over the year, I've been sort of touching on it and then moving off. And then touching on it and then moving off. And so I said, I think I want to devote the whole lesson to this concept. Now, after class, Monday evening, I was thinking about a discussion that we had in class about the song that we sing. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. Now, for me, it's absolutely amazing what happens when we are finally able to hear and embody those very few simple words. When we can finally hear it. Now, what I realized is that when understood, when we understand what those words mean, that changes everything. That absolutely changes everything. But it changes everything when we hear it. See, and that's why Jesus said to us, those who have ears, let them hear. Okay? Everything that we've known up till now drastically changes when we finally hear those words. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. Hallelujah. I mean, when you hear it, you want to testify. Okay? So the thing that we want to recognize, though, is that God is the only source. And that this source is unlimited and unconditional. Now, up till now, our understanding has been that our good is coming through the various channels in our lives. See, and you've heard me say this before, we have confused the channels for the source. All right? Like our money. We think our money comes from our jobs and our salaries. We have confused the channel for the source. Like our health, we think our health comes from our doctors and our medications. We have confused the channel for our source. We think our love and joy comes from our relationships and significant others. Again, we have confused the channel for the source. See, but when we can finally hear those words, God is my source, we realize that our good originates from a source that is unconditioned. Listen to that word. Estella is a word person, so when you're around Estella, you got to really pay attention to those words. But listen to that word, unconditioned. It doesn't know a condition. Unconditioned. So this source is unconditioned, and it knows nothing of a limit, and it knows nothing of a restriction of any kind. Now you may say, so what else is new, Dar? We've heard that before. No? Maybe you've listened to it before. But if what I just said didn't rock your world, then you still haven't heard it. That's what's so powerful about it. If that didn't rock your world, then you still haven't heard what this is all about. See, But it's okay if you haven't heard it. It's really okay. You know why? Because it took me a long time to hear it. It took me a long time. I would hear it. I would think I heard it. I would listen to it. I'd sing it. Get all up into the song. And still didn't hear it. Still was trying to figure out, where is my good going to come from? So this new understanding moves us into a place where our struggles and our pain can no longer even be validated. There's nothing to validate them when you know that there's only one source, and I'm in it, I'm as it. When we know that, our pain, our struggles, going without, we can't validate that anymore. It has nothing on which to stand. Nothing. So this new understanding shifts us. It shifts us out of a channel that by its very nature is limited. See, a channel that can only give us what its properties enable us to have from that channel. Okay? It's like you hear, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip because it's not going to yield blood, is it? Many of our channels are not going to yield the things that we're trying to squeeze out of them. See, and it shifts us out of that and into an awareness that knows no limits. An awareness, a mental awareness, because that's what consciousness is, isn't it? A mental awareness that knows no limits, a mental awareness that knows no restrictions. And as we stand in this awareness, anything that is not of this consciousness doesn't have a place to rest. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. Everything that I need. We begin to recognize that our source of love or joy is not that person that we've appointed to that position. That's not the source. We begin to recognize that our source of health is not that doctor and that medication that we've appointed to that position. Those are channels that it comes through. We begin to recognize that our source of supply is not our job. That's a channel that our good comes through. And the only source that there is in our lives is God, and we never have to look any further for anything that we need. Ever. Now, but until we hear this, we spend a great deal of our time drawing from limited channels. Drawing from limited channels, and most of the channels can't produce what it is that we're calling forth to come through those channels.